Hello my gorgeous friends of Webflow, it's your friendly neighborhood Francesco from Supasaido here. Today we're building an interactive video distortion effect in Webflow that turns your mouse cursor into a virtual glass lens. As you move across the section, the video bends, stretches and splits its colors into a beautiful chromatic aberration effect, all while running smoothly on the GPU. By the end of this tutorial, you'll know how to set up the entire effect in just a few minutes, customize every parameter directly in Webflow and, perhaps more importantly, understand what's happening behind the scenes and why this implementation remains both performant and scalable. If you find my videos helpful and want to support my work, you'll see the thanks button right below the video. No pressure at all, even just watching, liking and subscribing already means a lot. But now, if you're ready, let's dive in. The starting point for today's tutorial is a very simple hero section layout. We have a section with a class section, which, for now, is only used to set the minimum height to 100 VH. Inside it, we have our beloved container with the class main-container. We set its display property to flex, so the content inside can expand to take up all the available vertical space. Then, we added some padding on all sides, set the maximum width to 90 rem, and, just like the section, set its minimum height to 100 VH. Inside the main container, we have a simple div block with the usual class section_content-wrapper. This time, we're using it to set the display property to flex, the direction to vertical, and align the content to the center along the y-axis. Finally, we added a 1.5 rem gap to space out the elements inside. For this example, I kept the structure intentionally simple by adding just a heading, a paragraph and a button. Of course, you can organize your content however you like. Now comes the fun part. How can we give this hero section a real superpower by turning the mouse cursor into a virtual glass lens? As you move across the video, the image bends and distorts, while its colors split apart, like light passing through a prism, smoothly returning to normal as you move away. The best part is that implementing this effect only takes 3 simple steps. A small addition to our layout, copy-pasting the ready-to-use code I've already prepared for you, and a quick configuration before experimenting with the parameters to create your favorite look. Let's start with the layout. Select the section and set its position to relative. In a moment, it will become the reference element for an absolutely positioned canvas that will host our video. Next, add a new Webflow custom element. We'll turn it into a canvas in just a second, but for now, let's give it the class canvas, so its purpose is immediately clear. Set all padding values to 0, then change its position to absolute and set both its width and height to 100%, so it completely fills the section. Now for the most important part. We need to transform this custom element into a real HTML canvas. Thankfully, it's as simple as changing its tag property to, well, canvas. We'll come back to this element later when configuring the effect, but for now, let's keep moving. At this point, the obvious question is, where does the video actually come from? Unfortunately, we cannot simply paste a YouTube or Vimeo link. Those platforms don't expose the raw video file. Instead, they embed a protected video player, and browsers prevent external code from accessing or manipulating the pixels rendered inside it. Our distortion effect, on the other hand, needs direct access to every single frame of the video. Luckily, Webflow gives us a super simple workaround. By uploading a video through the background video element, Webflow automatically hosts the original MP4 file on its CDN. That gives us a direct video URL, which is exactly what our code needs. And that's exactly what we're going to use. Select the body element and temporarily add a background video element to the page. Click Upload Video and select the video you want to use. Once the upload is complete, simply click this little arrow icon to open the hosted video in a new tab. That reveals the direct video URL we'll need in just a couple of minutes. For now, we can safely return to the designer and delete the background video element. Don't worry, deleting the element won't delete the uploaded video itself. Now it's finally time to work with the code. Well, almost. There's one tiny styling issue we need to solve first. If we try selecting any element inside a content wrapper, we quickly notice that we cannot interact with them anymore. That's because our absolutely positioned canvas is currently sitting on top of the main container, whose position is still set to static. Thankfully, the fix is incredibly simple. Select the main container and change its position to relative. Boom. The content becomes fully interactive again, and we're finally ready to add the real engine behind this effect. To do that, simply inspect the clonable project linked in the description below, copy everything inside the before body tag section of the page settings and paste it into your own project in exactly the same location. The code is, well, huge. But don't let that scare you. Even though it's fully documented, you don't actually need to understand any of it to start using the effect. Once you've pasted it in, all that's left is configuring a few custom attributes. So let's save everything and return to our section. All the attributes we'll be adding belong to the canvas element. Select it, open the element settings panel, and let's start by adding 3 attributes. The first one is fc-video-distortion-element with the value canvas. This simply tells the code which canvas should receive the video and the distortion effect. Next comes the attribute we've all been waiting for, fc-video-distortion-video. Its value is simply the direct URL of the video we retrieved a few moments ago. So, switch to the browser tab containing the video, copy its URL and paste it into the attribute value. Finally, let's add the attribute that makes experimenting with the effect incredibly easy, fc-video-distortion-test. Think of this attribute as a switch between design mode and production mode. If its value is 1, the code enables a small interactive control panel that lets you tweak every parameter in real time. You can adjust the lens size, distortion strength, color separation and more, until you find the exact look you're after. And that's exactly what we're about to do. If the value is 0, the control panel disappears entirely and the effect runs using the values you've configured through your Webflow attributes, ready for your visitors to enjoy. After this incredibly simple setup, we only need to publish the project and open the live site. Boom! The video is there, the control panel is there, and right in the center of the screen we can already see a preview of the chromatic distortion effect. In production mode, the distortion only appears while hovering over the section. In design mode, however, it stays permanently visible, making it much easier to see how each parameter changes the final result. On the very first load, rendering the video onto the canvas might take a second or two. If you'd like to hide that initial delay, you can always create a simple page load animation in Webflow using GSAP, giving the code enough time to prepare everything before revealing the section. Now it's finally time to experiment with these surprisingly powerful parameters. But what does each one actually control? Radius defines the size of your virtual lens. Larger values make the distortion cover a wider area of the video, while smaller values keep the effect tightly concentrated around the cursor. Strength controls how dramatically the image bends and stretches as the lens moves across the video. The RGB offsets control the amount of chromatic separation. Increasing these values pushes the red, green and blue channels further apart, creating that classic retro futuristic prism effect. Finally, easing controls how smoothly the lens follows your cursor. Lower values create a soft, liquid-like movement, where the effect gently trails behind the mouse. Higher values instead make it react almost instantly, closely tracking every movement. Now, let's imagine we've found a combination we absolutely love. How do we make those settings permanent? Because, as you've probably noticed, refreshing the page resets everything back to the default values. Luckily, it's incredibly easy. Return to the designer, select the canvas once again, and simply add one custom attribute for every parameter you'd like to customize. Any parameter you don't specify will automatically keep using its default value. You'll find a complete list of all available attributes in the section below. But let's build a quick example together. Suppose we want an easing value of 0.01, a strength value of 0.02, and a radius value of 0.5. After adding those three attributes, simply publish the project, refresh the live page and boom. The effect now uses exactly the values we configured. If we're happy with the result, there's only one final step. Go back to the designer, change the FC video distortion test attribute from 1 to 0, publish one last time, refresh the page, and that's it. The control panel is gone, and the production version of the effect is officially ready. Now, if we really want to add the final cherry on top, we can improve text readability by placing a subtle overlay above the video. Simply add a new div block immediately after the canvas and give it a class section_overlay. Set its position to absolute, enable the full option so it covers the entire section, and finally apply a linear gradient. Set the angle to 90 degrees. For the first color stop at 0%, use a blackish color with 50% opacity. For the second stop at 50%, use the exact same color but with 0% opacity. Finally, for the third stop at 100%, use the original color again and again 50% opacity. And there we go. No matter which video you choose, your content remains clean, readable and just a little bit more premium. Now, before the usual recap and music recommendation, I'd like to spend just a minute talking about something you don't actually see. Because behind this simple setup, there are a few hidden superpowers that make this effect much smarter than it might appear. First, the code knows whether the video is actually visible on screen. As soon as you scroll away, it automatically pauses both the video playback and all graphics calculations, reducing CPU and GPU usage while saving battery life. Second, it detects whether the visitor is using a desktop or a touch device. On phones and tablets, it completely skips loading the heavy 3D graphics libraries and automatically falls back to the native mobile video player. That means less bandwidth, faster loading times, and a much smoother mobile experience. Third, it doesn't slow down your website during startup. The required 3D libraries are only downloaded if the current page actually contains an element using this effect, and they load quietly in the background without blocking the rest of the website. And finally, probably my favorite part. Instead of asking the browser itself to calculate every pixel distortion, the entire visual effect is executed directly on your computer's graphics card, using custom GPU shaders. That's what allows the animation to stay incredibly smooth while maintaining a stable 60 frames per second. And now, for real this time, it's finally time for us to say goodbye. And that's it for today. We built an interactive video distortion effect in Webflow using nothing more than a simple layout, a handful of custom attributes, and a ready-to-use code snippet. If you'd like to experiment with the entire setup yourself, you'll find the clonable link in the description below. Today's music recommendation is Johnny Be Good by Chuck Berry, because just like today's effect, the song is energetic, playful, and impossible to ignore. Sometimes all it takes is one great riff or one beautiful interaction to completely transform the experience. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more Webflow tips and tricks. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Matane!